Hi there. You're welcome to today's Power Your Cloud Data Warehouse Data Lake with IICS Tech Tuesdays webinar. Today's presenter is Shiv Patel, an Informatica veteran from the Customer Success Technologies team, handling cloud data warehouse or data lake journey with more than 15 years of experience and has developed a niche in enterprise data management solutions. Before we start this webinar, let's go through some housekeeping tips. This webinar will be for 1 hour. That includes a 45 minutes webcast, and then we will roll over to live for 15 minutes to answer your queries. You can post your questions in the Q&A box that you see on your screen, and we'll try and answer them throughout the webinar as well as the 15 minutes after this webinar. Also, all the dial-in participants will be muted so that the presenter will be able to present without any kind of interruptions. You can also put in your feedbacks and suggestions in your survey that follows after the presentation. Also, this webinar will be recorded and will be available in the Informatica Support YouTube channel and the Success Portal. The link will be emailed to you as well. The Tech Tuesdays webinars is a webinar series introduced in the Success Portal. The Informatica Success Portal is a micro-learning platform that offers free and unlimited learning to all registered users. The Success Portal will show up your success offerings, your customer success manager information. You'll also get to know the bookings available and that is left for you in the Ask an Expert session and customized recommendation and content. Here are some important links that you can go over later that will help you in understanding Informatica products and help you with your product adoption journey. Over to you, Shiv. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinda. So let's get started into the presentation of Power Your Cloud Data Warehouse Data Lake with Informatica Intelligent Cloud Service. So today's agendas are, first we'll go through the Cloud Data Warehouse Data Lake blueprint, and then we'll go through the different IICS services, and we'll deep dive into cloud data integration, and then we'll have the demo session today. So yeah, so here's the blueprint for Cloud Data Warehouse Data Lake. So when we want to build the cloud data warehouse or data lake, right? First thing comes into the mind is what are data sets I have. So you want to catalog your data. You want to basically discover your data. What are data sets I have? Then next question would be in your mind is from where this data is coming in and where is it going. So you want to have end-to-end data lineage. And then last is you want to have information about data, what attributes you have. So what is the meaning of this attribute? So that's where you maintain the glossary. So that's your important aspect of your any applications, be it data warehouse or data lake. So that's your data catalog and data governance for you. Now next step is, now you have the data, but now you have the data with you. Now next step would be, how would I ingest this data? So you need to have the mechanism to ingest all kind of data, right? Be it streaming, your on-premises application data, or SaaS-based data. So you need to have mechanism to ingest your data, right? So that's your data ingestion. You need to figure it out, the way to ingest all kind of data sets. Okay. So let's say now you know how to ingest your data. Now, once you ingested the data, now you need to make sure your data is trustworthy. So, and if it's not, then you need to figure it out. You need to figure it out the way to make it trustable data. That's where your data quality comes into play. So you need to profile the data, validate the data, verify the data, and have all those kind of data quality rules in your environment to make sure it's a trusted data and it's trusted by your partner. Yeah. So once you have the trusted data, now you want to make sure um, it's been um, ingested in a format where it can be consumable for your analytics user or whichever self-service user or your BI reporting. So that's where you ingest the data in cloud data warehouse and in your maybe in dimensional form, aggregation form. So whichever way you would like to generate the report, that's where you would ingest your data in cloud data warehouse. And in today's world, data science and artificial intelligence consumers are there. So you need to have the provision to serve those kind of users. So that's where you need to uh, give them the raw data in original form. Because if you go in data warehouse, it's in structured form, so you lose the originality of the data sets over there. So that's where customer of data science and artificial intelligence needs to have the raw data access. And then once you have the data in your cloud data warehouse, you need to provision the data for your enterprise analytics and self-service analytics users. Yeah, so this is for your batch mode. Now, last but not the least is the streaming user, right? So you have real-time users in today's world where they want to access the data and consume the data and generate a report or dashboard in real time. So that's where in your data warehouse or data lake, you need to have the mechanism to process and generate the report for your streaming users. That's your blueprint of cloud data warehouse data lake. Yeah. So let's go to the next slide. And now cloud data warehouse and data lake is getting merged in today's world, right? So new uh, term is coming up as a lake house, which is combination of your data warehouse and data lake. It's just like a new paradigm that combines the best element of both the world. And it's like new system design where you take the best of out of the both the best out of both the world. So you take the data structure, data management feature to from a data warehouse and store it in object level storage or low cost of storage as a data lake. So in today's world, we have S3 and Azure data lake store, and these are the storage where you get the low cost of storage in object form, and it's very reliable and its cost is very low. So Informatica is strategically, partner with this different vendors or lakehouse providers. You can say that AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Snowflake, Databricks. So Informatica is, strategically aligned with all these customers, and we provide extensive connectivity to this to these ecosystems. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into the next slide. So what are the these are what are the three what are the pillars of cloud lakehouse data management? So these are the three pillars which we looked into it. Like you need to have data integration architecture, you need to have data quality, and then you need to have metadata management. So let's get into data integration first. So since you are moving into cloud, you need to have codeless integration. You don't want to have a write a code, because today let's say you are writing in Python, but tomorrow you may want to write in something else. So you don't want to change the code every time, because that's going to be effort intensive, and it's going to be expensive for you. And uh, mass ingestion. So basically, in today's world, you have thousands of files or thousands of tables, for example, or in streaming. You don't want to write a code for every object or every file. So you need to have mechanism to ingest the data in mass way, right? So that's you should be having that capability. Now what we are talking about here is push down optimization. So uh, let's think in this way. So it's a if you are processing the data in Snowflake database, and since if you are Snowflake has the very elastic compute and pretty powerful execution engine, so you would like to compute your code or execute your code in your Snowflake engine rather than processing in your own engine, and then which may not be that much efficient as a Snowflake. So that's where you should be having capability of push down optimization, where today maybe you want to execute the code in Snowflake, but tomorrow you may want to execute the code in Spark. So that's the idea behind push down optimization. And then obviously you need to have serverless and Spark we talked about. Broad connectivity. I know a lot of customers are going in hybrid, cloud ecosystem. Maybe so you have certain applications who are which are in AWS and certain are in Azure or Google cloud providers. So you need to have the broad connectivity across the ecosystem. And streaming of processing we talked about, and yeah, and a lot of applications are coming up where they are having machine learning. So you need to uh, uh, um, you need to have the ability to provision that, and at the same time your data integration engine, you need to have the machine learning capability which can learn and uh, give you the recommendation to improve your code. So that's the data integration that you would like to see it in your cloud lakehouse data management. Now, next is data quality. You need to have the capability to profile your data, write your data quality rules in order to make a trustworthy dictionary. Like you need to have a different dictionary to uh, give the meaning of your data. Cleansing, standardization, parsing. So these are the different data quality features that you would like to have you'd like to have the capability in your lake house, we would say. And then last but not the least is metadata management, right? So you need to have the uh, uh, entire 360 view of your data sets, where what are data sets I have, from where it's coming, what it means, so all the details about the data sets you need to have the capability. Okay, so that's the metadata management for you. And obviously, right, you need to have AI driven automation. So since your ecosystem is growing and technology is changing exponential, so you need to have this some kind of automation of using AI. So that's the concept here. And then obviously it needs to be in cloud native, be it multi-cloud, API driven, microservices. So there are the different cloud native features that needs to be part of your lakehouse data management pillar. That's what we are talking here. Let's get it to the next slide. So this is the Informatica Intelligent Cloud Service for you. So with IICS, let's start from the bottom up. So IICS is the cloud native, and it has the broadest connectivity. We provide all kind of connectivity, and yeah, I mean data engine. And then also just wanted to highlight we have the execution engine as a CLAR, and it's all IICS is driven by CLAR, and you'll have various features which is AI driven. So first thing we talked about a pillar is data integration. So we have a cloud data integration, and which is having all the capabilities which we talked about. It's basically serverless architecture. It's codeless. You have the push down optimization. You can execute compute through Spark, and similarly, cloud data quality. It has the profiling data quality rules, dictionary, and all the rules that you would expect in data quality. So that's the cloud data quality for you. And metadata management, we have the enterprise data catalog. So enterprise data catalog is right now on-premises solution. So you have to install and maintain in on-prem software, and then it doesn't have to be on-prem, but it needs to be installed in your server that can be in EC2, Azure, Google Cloud Provider, or AWS. But this is very much tightly integrated with IICS cloud data integration, and you should be you can create a mapping using the EDC assets. So that's the IICS. So what we are saying is it's gold standard, for modern intelligent AI powered microservices based and next gen enterprise integration platform for as a service. So that's the IICS we are saying. And at the same time, it's basically uh, there's very minimal install and setup. We have secure agent that's very lightweight installation. So and then auto upgrade, fully integrated, technology. So there is no server management for you. It's very minimal. So let's get into the next slide. So first thing we want to talk about is enterprise data catalog, where this is our intelligent metadata management. EDC is basically it's catalog of catalogs. So if you have let's say Glue in AWS world, but this enterprise data catalog will scan the Glue metadata and then all your other applications and generate the catalog for you in automated way. So basically catalog all of your data across multi-cloud, on-prem, ETL, BI tool, and it can find the data automated way using AI and machine learning engine, and it will scan the data and generate the assets for you. So basically, it's AI powered data catalog that provides machine learning based discovery engine to scan and catalog data assets across the enterprise and across the cloud and the on-premises and big data anywhere. And it's powered by Claire engine, which provides the basically intelligence by leveraging metadata to deliver recommendations, suggestions, and automation of data management tasks. Yeah, and then you can see like it has the very nice graphical interface, graphical visualization where you can see the different lineage and you can generate different impact analysis and yeah, see you say on the second slide is the value frequency. So we have a very deep dive sessions already done by different engineers, so you can take a look for deep dive into EDC. So I just want to touch upon what is EDC for you. Let's go to the next one. So yeah, next one is the data integration. So we call it cloud data integration. Basically, it provides the cloud native pre-built cloud native connectivity to virtually any types of enterprise data, whether multi-cloud, on-premises, and it's designed for scalability and performance. And it has the if you're aware about Power Center, then it has those kind of performance optimization technique like partitioning and push down optimization, so you can process your data efficiently. And it has the mass ingestion of any format, database, CDC, or streaming. And we have like Spark based serverless execution engine as well. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. So cloud data integration is integrated with enterprise data catalog, where you can search the enterprise data catalog and have the result. And if you want to create a mapping based on those metadata set, you can just do it right here, click a button. So I'm going to show this in demo session. So yeah, we'll see over on that side. So next step is cloud data quality. Informatica cloud data quality, again, it provides the cloud native capability. So you can take a holistic approach to quickly profile your data, which can enable you to basically identify, fix, and monitor data quality problems before moving the data into your cloud data warehouse or data lake. So, and it helps you to transform the data so you can cleanse it, standardize, enrich all your data. So it has the extensive pre-built data quality rules without adding without having additional codes. So it's all a codeless integration. So that's the cloud data quality. Now the mass ingestion, which we were talking about. So your cloud mass ingestion will help you to ingest and hydrate your lake through variety of data sources. Be it database streaming or file ingestion. So that's the mass ingestion. So with database ingestion, you can use the CDC, from your relational database like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, and load those data sets in your cloud. And it offers basically schema drift capabilities, so you don't have to change the code for every column changes. And yeah, it provides the real-time monitoring as well. And similarly for streaming, you can set it up in mass ingestion and have real-time data sets in your cloud target. Then file is there. File mass ingestion feature is also there with you. So again, I mean, if you want to do the deep dive in cloud mass ingestion, we have the deep dive session, so we can do that. Yeah. If you want to learn more about this product. Now let's deep dive into cloud data integration. So basically, cloud data integration is it's enterprise class product, and it's template based, widget based development. So your development time is very less, and we have the way to manage the operation aspect of your code in production. So what do we have in enterprise class, right? So first thing you need is I mean, once you have built the code, you need to have the capability of checking in, checking out in your version control, right? So we have built the native integration with GitHub, which is pretty very popular. So if you want to check in from IICS to GitHub, you just click a button. So like in the picture it shows, if you click the right click, and then you can check in and check out in your GitHub version control. And let's say if you don't have GitHub and if you want to do the automation, so we do have the command line utility capability. Using that, you can have the end-to-end automated way of checking in, checking out, and you can leverage Jenkins or any workflow orchestration for your CI/CD pipeline. And it has the extensive transformation capability. So it's just a drag and drop. You don't have to really do the hand coding. So that's the transformation capability you have. And again, you have the ability to automate, orchestrate all your integration tasks. Like you create mapping tasks, mapping configuration tasks, a notification you want to set up here, and you want to have command line tasks. So you can have all this code, all these different tasks in your task flow. We call it task flow in IICS. So you can orchestrate like the way it's mentioned, showed here in the diagram. And then the last thing is where do you want to run, right? So we have the option of you can have different secure agents, and you can run your job wherever you want based on your optimal optimum situations. So for example, if your code and source system and target is in cloud, then you would want to run your code in cloud. And then let's say if you have certain workload which are heavily involved for your on-prem data sets for the like source and target, which are in legacy application sets, then you want to run your code in on-premises. So you can choose the runtime using just drop-down option. So yeah, I mean, next one is developer productivity. So again, it's a template and wizard based development. So it's pretty much drag drop, so which is a pretty nice feature, and there's not much of coding involved. Again, you can validate and then you can have inline preview, midstream preview the data set, so you don't have to complete the code in order to see the result set. So that's the pretty nice feature. And again, you can build the code once and reuse it. So reusability is there. And for your jumpstart, we have the code available. We have the lot of code available in the mapping template, where let's say, for example, if you want to load the dimension table, right, and that needs to be in type 2 form, like slowly changing dimension type 2, then you can just select those option, and it will give you the relevant mapping for you. And yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, so you can create a mapping and make that as a template, and have a parameter driven, so you can reuse same mapping for different objects. That's the parameter driven. Operations, right? So in order to have the operation management, we have the operational insight, where it will give you the centralized view of your IICS or maybe other Informatica tool if you want to monitor. So your operational insight is pretty it's kind of centralized the tool sets, or centralized service which can monitor all your Informatica products. Like if you want to monitor your power center, you can set it up and monitor through operational insight. And within IICS, you can see all these different dashboards, and you can set up alert sets. If your secure agent is failed, then it will give you alert. If it's secure agent is failing, you may need to have a look into this. And different scheduling monitoring is there. So you should definitely explore the operational insight for managing the operation aspect of it. Yeah, and cloud data integration provides the plug and play connectivity. So it has the across the board connectivity basically. So be it social data, machine data, data lake. So you can have any kind of data set connected. So we have the connectivity for almost everything. So serverless integration, this is new feature, right? So right now this serverless integration is in tech preview, and very soon we are coming up with the production release for the serverless integration. So what is mean is you have a secure agent concept in IICS. So in order to run your job, it executes in secure agent. So that's the data. So basically, secure agent does the computation of your data set. So IICS cloud maintains the metadata, your ETL logic, and compute happens in your secure agent. So currently, secure agent is in your customer environment, and you have to manage this, server, and this server needs to be up and running. But with serverless, what is happening is you need to focus only on your data sets, but compute and execution part is on an Informatica side. So what it means is, while running the job, it will spin up the server, and execute the job in secure agent, and expand it, be it elastic, scale it up, scale it down. And once your job is completed, then this secure agent server will spin down. So you don't have to really worry about the environment, any environment. So that's the serverless environment for you, and you should definitely try it out. And right now in tech preview, this is available for AWS. So you should definitely take a look at your AWS stock. And yeah, so no server to manage, continuous scaling, built-in resiliency, and high available, and it has the consumption-based pricing. Basically, if your server is down, it's not going to cost you, so it's going to save you money overall. So yeah, let's get into demo session. So let's get into the demo directly. So here is the our IICS console. This is where we log in. So once you log in into IICS service, and based on your licensing, you would be able to see different services. So today we are going to concentrate on data integration, data profiling, data quality, mass ingestion services. So let's start with the data integration services. Once you go to data integration services, so first thing today I want to talk about is our data catalog. So this is our enterprise data catalog, and it's been integrated with cloud data integration. So this enterprise data catalog is basically on-prem installation, and we have done the installation for in on-prem, and scanned all the metadata, tagging and other features of enterprise data catalog is being done through on-prem product. But today we are only going to talk about the integration with the cloud data integration. So once you have integrated the integrated EDC with cloud data integration, this will show up in data integration tab. Now let's say I want to search for employee, and once I search it, I would be able to see all the different places where employee object is stored. For example, it's in Oracle database, in Hive, in S3, and these are different resource name which is coming from EDC. And so let's say I want to read this, I want to see this S3 employee data from S3 scanner. Now, after seeing this S3 data, now if I want to store it, if I want to create a mapping task, for example, using synchronization task, mass ingestion, I can directly do it from here. So once you click it, and it will open into new window and create a mapping using the same source. So that's the EDC, which is integrated with the CDI for you. Now, let's go to the next topic, data profiling. So, we go to here and click on data profiling services. Now, here in the data profiling services, you can create a different data profiling task. And for example, let's get into this directly, and you define the connections. So I have already created the data profiling. Yeah. So I have already done the link, and here let's look into the profile location, profiling for location. So once you do the profiling and run the profiling, you would be able to see these different result sets. Yeah, so once you different result sets means it will show what percentage of null data set you have, number of null, what are the different distinct percentage. Now, what are the different patterns or length? For example, in postal code, right? So this location data is international location data. So your zip code is, you have different alphanumerics sets over here. However, if you want to have verification, for example, a US zip code, it needs to be in 5 digits. So we can have those kind of verifier checks in verifiers in data quality. So these are the different data sets. It talks about what is maximum value, minimum value, and then at the same time you can see into different trends over here, data types. It's typical, data profiling real set that you would expect. And here you can also have the data preview sets and different data preview. We can take a look. So this is the data profiling for you. Now let's get into data quality services. Now, if you find out certain issue or anomaly in data sets, now you want to have a verifier to fix those data sets, you come to data quality, and using data quality, you will have different services, verify, cleansing, deduplicate, and parse the data. So let's get into, for example, the verifier. I have created one verifier address task. So let's say I want to verify the address, so using address line 1, which is the street address, postal code, locality, country. So these are going to be my input and what output I'm expecting. So these are the outputs. So this is how you create the verifier for address, for example. So once you create this rule, you can integrate this data quality verifier in your data integration mapping. So let's get into ingestion part of it. So once you're so now there are two ways to do the data ingestion. One is mass ingestion using mass ingestion service. So for loading the data in for bulk, I wouldn't say bulk, but if you want to load the multiple objects, multiple files, be it streaming database, then you can use mass ingestion. And you have two kind of here in this mass ingestion, we have database ingestion task and streaming ingestion task for using mass ingestion service. And we have a third one is file ingestion task that will come up in your data integration services, so which I'm going to talk about it. So this database ingestion task is basically integrated with your let's say Oracle source data sets, and this is going to be CDC, so change data capture in real-time mode. Or if you want to do it in batch mode, then also you can do it in batch mode. So this is mass ingestion for you. Let's go to data integration. So let's say if you want to create the so for file mass ingestion task, you come here, and this is for your file mass ingestion task. So I have created one file mass ingestion task. Let's get into that. So yeah, if I so if I want to read the data from read the different files from different from the sources. For example, right now I have selected local folder, but you can have all this FTP, S3, blob, HDFS. These are the different source connections which you can leverage for reading the different reading the files. And this is where you provide the directories, and you can have wildcard or dates, so batch size. So after file pickup, what do you want to do? You want to keep the file, delete the file, rename the file. So those are different features of it. And target can be, for example, I have S3 for now, but you can have again same cloud target or FTP target that you would want to see the file in your case. We also have included BigQuery, data, Snowflake. So these are different cloud. These are different targets for cloud data warehouse, data lake use case. So that's the file mass ingestion for you. Now, so let's talk about the mapping that I was talking about for verifying the address, right? So this is my source and target. Source is the file, and verify. If you want to make sure you want to have the trusted data sets, then you can use the verifier, and you can have incoming fields and verifier. This is the verifier that we created. So yeah, that's the verifier for you, and you can have field mapping here, and yeah, that's the verifier. And similarly, we can create a complex mapping sets. For example, your data warehouse use case, you can have a pre-built mapping which is available when you create a new task. So this is the mapping that you would create, and here you can you will have all the bunch of features, very extensive features in transformation. You can select and create a mapping for you. And once you have all this, the task, now you would want to orchestrate in your task flow. So you come here in the task flow and then create a grid and the pipeline, end-to-end pipeline. So this is going to be a fixed address. If based on the fixed address successful decision, you can click on make a decision on a dimension mapping node, or if it's failure, then raise a notification task. So that's the task flow for you. Yeah, so let's go back to slide again. Yeah, so summary. So what we have seen today is with IICS, you can easily integrate any data sets. You can build data quality role, which supports multiple patterns, integrated cataloging, and the deployment can be a serverless deployment. And it's all these different services are powered by your AI engine, which is Claire. So if you want to try any of our product, please reach out to your account manager or customer success manager. And thank you for spending time with us.
Hey everyone, you can use your Q&A box shown up on your screen to post your questions, and we'll try and answer them.
So, listen, I think the last question was around Workday connector for mass ingestion. Right now, we don't support this as a mass ingestion connector source. So, in mass ingestion database, we have the SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, and in the streaming mass ingestion streaming side, we support like Kinesis Stream, Flat File, JMS, Kafka, MQTT, and REST v2. So yeah. So latest question is around is EDC within IICS a new added feature? So this EDC needs to be installed on premises. So there are configuration settings, so that needs to be done in EDC side, and in IICS side, you need to enable the EDC search agent service. Then you will be able to see the EDC feature in IICS. I see latest question from what is the difference between mass ingestion task versus file processor? So file processor is from CAI. I believe that's what you're asking. So the file processor is mostly done for. I think we need to circle back on this question, and I need to look into it properly before I say anything. But mass ingestion is mainly for if you're ingesting multiple files and you don't need to have individual job for it, and then that's how your mass ingestion will look into it. How is CDC configured for real-time ingestion? So basically in CDC there are configuration setup you need to do within database side for CDC configuration. So you need to have admin privileges and Oracle SQL Server. It logins, it connects into system log data sets, and that's how you would be doing the CDC configuration. Is IDQ on cloud version available? So there are a couple of, two services which we talked about today. One is data profile and another is data quality. So those two services are there in IICS. You can explore, and it's so that's IDQ on-premises version of cloud. So you can definitely explore that. Is there anything being done about collection on views in PostSQL connector? This one I need to get back to you. Is there a file watcher task in IICS like in Power Center? So there's a file watcher task in IICS. Verify the load process. Yeah, there is one file processor. So file processor is CDI. So there is one task, file listener. Yeah, file listener task is there in IICS, which you can leverage. Is it Power Exchange working on the side for CDC? Sharmila, can you talk about this on mass ingestion related, how the configuration is done? If you can speak up. Or Raghavendra, if you have any input on the mass ingestion configuration setup.
Yeah. So for the database mass ingestion, the machine on which the secure agent is installed needs to have access to the logs of the database. So for that, currently we are supporting Oracle and SQL Server for the incremental load. So we have two types of loads there for DB mass ingestion. One is initial load and incremental load. So for incremental, right now we are supporting Oracle and SQL Server, and for that the secure agent machine needs to have access to the DB logs. That's the prerequisite.
Shiv, there is one more question from Nitin. Can we answer that?
Yeah, so for data quality rules or validation, we can do in the expression, that's right. But in data quality, a lot of those, task is automated. So you can create a rule in data quality and integrate that in your data integration mapping.
Yeah, and adding to what? Sorry, go ahead, Shiv.
No, you go ahead, sir.
Okay, so adding to what Shiv just mentioned, Nitin. So along with just validations that we can do in expression, we have very rich features in the cloud data quality. So such as address verify that you have just seen, and we have many IDQ on-prem IDQ transformations, those features coming into cloud data quality. So you would not be able to implement all of them in the CDI expressions. Yes, few of them you could do as a workaround, but there are many other tons of features in cloud data quality that are currently available, not there in CDI, and many more that you can look out for in the upcoming release.
Thank you, Sharmila. There is one more question from Nitin Shiv. Replication tasks versus database mass ingestion. Can we take that up?
Yeah. So basically, replication task is on the select side where you read into multiple table and do the replication. But however, the DB mass ingestion is on the real-time side, and you need to have a configuration on the system configuration side, like Sharmila explained.
Yes, and adding to what Shiv just mentioned, the replication task supports only few sources and targets. So the supported sources are databases and Salesforce, while the supported targets are databases and flat files. While for DB mass ingestion, the use case is completely different. While the DRS is scheduled, DB mass ingestion the incremental one is in real time.
Yes. Sharmila, there's one more question. What is the scheduling tool for Cloud DQ? So I believe, yeah, can you take that up?
Sure. So right now we do not have a schedule available for DQ. So probably we can check with the product manager on the feature request, or if there's any upcoming plan to fix it in the or make it available in the upcoming release. But having said that, we have the vision of CDQ is to have the integration with CDI. So if there's a feature in CDQ, we will have an integration with CDI, which can then be scheduled.
Yeah. And I see one question, what are we doing on the operational failed error? Not sure from where it's coming up, but you can definitely reach out to our global customer support team, and they will be able to troubleshoot and help you out.
Next, we do have a question from Nitin that whether CDC is enabled by default in DB mass ingestion if it is real time. So we have in the incremental mode, yes, we can implement the CDC feature.
Shiv, we have one more question from Amos. What are the implication synchronization tasks on S3 and Redshift with truncation enabled? Can we have that question answered, Sharmila or Shiv?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. So, I mean, the question is, you would want to have the truncate enabled, or I didn't understand the question completely.
Amos, could you please specify, elaborate your question, please? Shiv or Sharmila might be able to help you here. Please post your queries in the Q&A box. Yeah, Amos has definitely came back with the elaboration for that question. Can we take that up, Shiv?
So I think this, yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just trying to answer this operation failed question. So yeah, Sharmila, go ahead.
Okay, so I was trying to address the truncate implication, the question posed on that. So we do have an option of truncate target table before data load. That's in Redshift connector. So which means that before loading the data to the Redshift target, the table is truncated. So in case if you want to truncate and load, if that's the scenario, then you can check this checkbox. Truncate target table before data load. So you could go ahead.
Yeah, so I think you answered. So he Amos has added the one more line. You are mapping on staging, then from staging to target data where you want to synchronize the task. Okay, so you answered the question already. So yeah, I think Anil is asking serverless feature. So yeah, we can definitely share the documentation with you. And this is a tech preview right now. So if you are in AWS, if you are AWS customer, you can try it out definitely. Yeah. So question from Amos regarding operation failed is I would say reach out to our global customer support team, and they will be able to help you out on this. So the question around I think the file processor and the mass ingestion file. In file processor, basically you do the FTP, SFTP kind of activity. In mass ingestion, it's integrated with the target, so you can read the data and read the data from file and load it into your respective target. So that's the main difference. And the file processor is just one connector, so you have to build the mapping or ETL pipeline for it.
Thank you, Shiv. Let's wait for some more time for questions. Please post your questions in the Q&A box. Shiv, there is one question from Amos.
Yeah. In absurd and data-driven strategy, substitute slowly changing dimension. So, I mean, when you create a mapping, right, in IICS, you just have to say absurd, so it's not like you don't need to use update strategy in IICS. So yeah, I mean, you don't, when you say you substitute, so you can implement the logic, and in IICS it's much easier. So you can definitely try it out in IICS CDI mapping, I would say.
Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, just 1 minute is there. So I'll quickly walk through on these questions. So the way I was the way question is asked. So you are asking about, can we have the absurd and data-driven strategy, right? So when you say substitute, I mean, it's not very clear what. Okay, so you have. It's not very clear what is being asked here. So I was just giving you the general how to create a mapping, absurd mapping in IICS. Elias is asking, where can we find more info on serverless integration? So I would definitely say reach out to your customer success manager or account manager. They can connect you with our product team, and product team is working with customer directly for this tech preview setup. This serverless feature is in IICS Secure Agent, not in Power Center. Sharmila, so you want to take that last one?
Sure, Shiv. So we do have another question from Amos that why is it in data driven that if is null of ID DD insert and if is null of partner data ID DD insert and another similar condition. So why can it be done only on 3 columns and not even on 5 or 10? So this is something that we can consider as a feedback and reach out to our product management team. So Amos, we would request you to raise a case with our support team so that they could understand the requirement better. Why do you need, I mean, what is the purpose of 5 or 10 columns? And then based on the severity, we can, the support team can work with our R&D team to create a feature request and get that implemented in upcoming release.
Yeah. So I think we are over the time limit of this webinar, so let's wind this up. Hopefully we have answered most of your questions. If you feel that our answers were incomplete in some way, we can definitely get back to you after this webinar. You can definitely raise a ticket with the support team, as Sharmila has mentioned. Thank you for joining this webinar. Hope everyone is safe. Thank you, Shiv, and all the panelists, especially Sharmila, Raghavendra, and Akshat for joining in. Thanks a lot. See you on our next Tech Tuesdays. Bye.